Hi everyone, thank you for taking the time to view and join the Rekindle Learning QCTO-aligned online education platform webinar. During the course of the webinar, we're going to be covering a few key topics. Starting off, we're just going to introduce the team behind the development of the solution. We're then going to provide for a few high-level slides which outline the core features and functionality of the QCTO-aligned online education platform. And we're then going to move on to discussing how we've preloaded and we've digitized QCTO content which you can access through the platform. I'm then going to provide for a very high-level software demonstration on one of the applications that you can adopt. And then we'll end off by how you can access your free trial post watching this webinar, and what does the platform and course pricing guide look like, and how will you have access to it. So starting off, the team behind the solution is Rekindle Learning, which is a local South African education technology provider. We are partnered up with Thrive, which is one of the best and most credible QCTO accreditation consultants in South Africa, and Eyakho, the most prestigious QCTO-aligned course content provider for QCTO skills development providers. So I'm now going to run through a few slides which outline the key features and functionality of the Rekindle EpiTek platform. And just to start off with, why the platform is unique is, in the online education world, if you really want to digitize your end-to-end educational flows, you need e-learning functionality, which is the way you deliver content. You also need e-assessment functionality, which is the way you test online. And then you also need LMS functionality on features and functionality on how to manage your students. So we've created a single platform that encompasses all three components to online learning, and you can essentially take your students from course registration to certification on a single platform which can be rebranded with your color palettes and your logos, really giving it a unique white glove touch for your educational experience. So starting off with the e-learning features and functionality, this will provide you with live classroom environments, so you're able to provide for facilitator-led training. Your students can work through self-paced learning material, either through text content, video content, or SCORM content. You can also create a course in a blended environment, which essentially means students can work through self-paced learning material, but every week or every second week they can also receive live virtual training from the facilitator. You'll also have access to a course marketplace where you can deliver your courses and the students can register or purchase for them. And we've also created an automated booking system, so the students can enroll. Our system does all the admin work behind the scenes. Our e-assessment functionality comprises of formative assessments, summative assessments, and practical and workplace assessments. We've developed these assessment engines, and when you curate your course, you can simply digitize your assessment criteria, and our system has got functionalities such as automated marking, and this feeds through to the student's report. We then provide for learner management functionality. So firstly, we've got QCTO learner registration and reporting functionality. You can also manage multiple students and multiple cohorts of groups of students and track their individual performance across courses and generate student records and portfolio of evidence. So moving on to the QCTO-aligned preloaded digital courses. So what our team has done is we've taken PDF accredited QCTO courses and we've digitized it into very interactive video and animated style content, which is preloaded on the platform. So through your admin portal, you can actually subscribe to these accredited digitized courses and offer it to your students at a click of a button, which essentially saves you hours of digitization costs and your time. Above and beyond this, we also have our own course authoring and registration and creation tool. So you can essentially create your own learner journey through the platform and upload your own content, which you can publish to the marketplace for students to register. So I'm now going to take the time just to run you through the learner portal and the admin portal. And these are essentially both of the platforms you'll have access to if you join and use our technology. So as I mentioned, when you register and join Rekindle, you'll have access to the Learner portal and the Admin portal. So essentially the Learner portal is the portal that the students will have access to. This is where they can view your courses that you've got on offer, they can register for courses, they can engage with assessments, go through self-paced learning material and receive live classes. You will then also have access to the Admin portal. And essentially this is the back office of your organization. This is where you can manage all of your facilitators, your assessors, you can create courses, you can subscribe to our preloaded courses, or you can create and mark assessments and generate student reports. So I'm going to start off by going through the Learner portal. When the learners go onto the platform for the first time, they've got the ability to enter in all of their QCTO-aligned information which can be collected. So this goes from their personal details, their citizen or nationality status, their contact details, disability and employment status, their home and postal address, and the documents they need to upload. And what's unique about this feature is when a student registers for a course, on the Admin portal, our system automatically transfers this data. So you don't have to data capture the student's information, they data capture their own information and you can access it through the Admin portal. The other functionality on the Learner portal is the course marketplace. So if you've got accredited courses on offer, the students can view all of these courses under the accredited course filter. There is also a filter for short courses. So if you have non-accredited courses which you want to offer, you can publish it to the short course section for the students to register. The students are able to click into one of the course. They could view a description, who's the facilitator, what are the different pieces of content or topics they're going to work through. And if they wish to register, there's two different ways. So firstly, we've created e-commerce functionality. So you can attach a RAND value to this course and the students would actually physically purchase the course and our system would allocate the content to them and within 2 days you'll receive your income for the purchase of the course. We do understand that not all courses are paid for by the students, so the students are also able to use their QCTO information and register for a course. But once they've registered, they would be taken to their dashboard, and the dashboard is split up into 3 sections. Firstly, the courses in progress, which is essentially all of the courses they haven't completed. There's a live class section over here, which is essentially a calendar view of all of their scheduled up and coming live classes. We then have a completed courses section, and this is essentially a historical log of all the courses the students completed and they could view their certification if it is for the non-accredited courses. So if I were a student and I wanted to interact with one of the courses, they would simply select the course, and then the course is broken up into 3 sections. So this is an example of a blended learning course. So the students will have access to a live classroom environment for facilitator-led training. They can work through self-paced material at their own pace, and then they could view and complete all of their assessments, such as their workplace or their practicals, and all of this can be done through one user journey. So I'm going to start off by going through the live classroom environment. As you can see, there's currently no live class which has started. So when I go to the Admin portal, I'll show you what the features and the functionality look like. But the students can also download additional content, they can view class schedules, and all the live classes have the ability to be recorded. So the students, if they've missed a live class or they want to refer back to a live class, they can go back and watch recorded sessions. The other functionality that the students will have access to is the self-paced learning material. So as you can see over here, a student can click topic 1, for example. They're able to view and download course notes in any file format, or they can actually watch the digitized course content videos. Once they've completed this, they can move on to the next chapter of work, and they could work through the next video. And once they've completed this, they can also complete formative assessments, which are essentially multiple choice questions embedded in between video content or text content, and as it's completed, the students' marks will automatically populate to their student records. If I go through to the different assessment functionality at the bottom over here, here's an example of a summative assessment, which is a digitized assessment we've created. or you can also get the students to complete PDF assessments, which I'll show you in a bit. But starting off with the summative assessments, the students would be able to complete multiple choice questions. They can complete essay type questions, or you can even ask students to upload videos or files or voice notes to actually answer questions. The students would be able to view their own marks and any comments made by the facilitator or the assessor. There is a PDF version of how assessments can be completed, and essentially why this is unique is you can simply upload a PDF document, and we've created a system where the students are actually able to engage and add text to the PDF document, and instead of downloading the PDF directly through the platform, they can complete the assessments and then save and submit all of their answers for the assessor or the facilitator to mark. So just jumping through to the admin portal, I just want to quickly run through the live classroom environment. If I go to that exact same course as a facilitator, I can click into the course and I can select enter or start a live class. As you can see, there's no live class started. I would simply select go live. I'll enter the type of class. So let's say I'd like to host a webinar. I'd select lecture hall. You'd enter the duration of the class. In this example, I'll make it 2 minutes. You'll select go live, and then your camera permissions will be requested, and you'd simply select OK, and then you'd be able to actually utilize and present the live classroom environment. So the live classroom environment is split up into 3 core features. So the first being the educator's camera would be populated on the top right of the screen, and their microphone would also be accessed so the students can listen and hear to the facilitators narrating the content. We do have a live chat functionality where the students can engage and ask questions during the live class. This section over here is an interactive whiteboard. So not only will you have drawing tools, which the students can view while you interact on the whiteboard, but there's other additional features, such as you can actually upload or you can screen share into this section over here. You can upload PDF content, and this will be overlaid on top of the whiteboard for the students to actually view you working through the content. There are other unique tools such as laser pointers. There's pop-up multiple choice questions, so you can ask certain questions, provide different answers, select create, and in real time, you would then see what % of students are answering the questions. It's just a great way to judge the sentiment if the knowledge is being acquired. So I'm now going to exit this live classroom, and I'm going to move on to the additional admin features. So as I mentioned, this is the back office of your organization. Only yourself, assessors, facilitators would have access to the portal. The students won't have access to this actual version of the application. So just starting off at the top over here, you've got your company information. If you want to upload your logo to rebrand the platform, you'll simply select this button. You could view and manage your subscription to the platform. So if you want to cancel your subscription, or you want to cancel any of the QCTO-aligned digital content you've subscribed to, you can simply do this through this view. You then have the facilitator/assessor section. So this is where you can add users to the admin portal to engage with the content. Different users have different permissions. If you want to give full permissions to one of your admin users, you could simply toggle this is a super admin user, and they will have access to all of the features and functionality. The reason why adding users to the system and facilitators to the system is unique is when you create a course, there's 2 different ways in actually accessing and publishing courses. The first is creating your own course, and the second is subscribing to our pre-digitized course content. So I'm going to start off by showing you creating your own course. It's a very simple process. You would type in the course name, subtitle, you'd enter who would be the educators or facilitators' email address from your facilitator list. You can add a price to the course, or you can rather select course registration where the student would have to register for the courses. You'd enter a course description, an expiration date for the course. So If you'd like to protect your IP, you can set the course to expire after a certain amount of time, and when that time limit is reached, the students will not be able to gain access to your actual content. You'd then select if the course is accredited or non-accredited. You can outline what the course includes, so self-paced learning, live classes, and the course outline, so outlining your different modules which form part of the course. Once you select Create, you will be taken to a screen that looks like this. So the information you just published and created in the previous screen I showed you would be the information that's populated over here. You then have the ability to add live classes to the course. You can add self-paced learning material, and you create formative assessments for each piece of self-paced learning material if needed. You can create all of your summative assessments or your practical assessments or workplace assessments directly through here. If it's a non-accredited course, we can also auto-generate certificates for you. We'll provide a fully branded auto-generation of a certificate with the course name, the student's name, and your signature. You can also upload facilitated documents. So essentially, these are additional how-to guides or documents that you want your facilitators to have access to when running through this course. Once you select Publish Course, if I go back to the Learner portal, the course would then appear on the marketplace, and this is where the students are able to actually register and purchase the course, because it's at the state where you've now created the end-to-end course and you're allowing access to the students. There is a tab for disabled courses. So essentially, if you want to remove a course from the marketplace, let's say you've completed a cohort of students or you don't offer the content anymore, you can disable the course, and all your disabled courses would appear here, but in a click of a button, you can re-enable it, you can add or alter the course structure and republish it. You then also have course drafts. So these are courses you've created but are in draft state. So they haven't fully been created and you rather want to work on them over time and publish them when the time's right. If you have subscribed to our preloaded digital course content, a list of all of the courses which you've unsubscribed to would appear over here. You then also have course record functionality. So if I select one of the courses, let's say it's New Venture Creation Group 1, I can view all of the students who are registered for this course. I can view all of their summative assessments, their practicals, and their formative assessments they've completed. Next to each course mark or each assessment mark, there's an information button. If you select this information button, it will take you directly to the marked transcript, whether it's a formative assessment, summative, practical, or workplace, and you'll always have a record of this. The other functionality or ways to create a course is to go to our course marketplace. And this is where we have listed all of our pre-digitized course content. As you can see over here, the current courses that we've digitized is Workplace Essential Skills, Conflict Management, and New Venture Creation. If you want to read a bit further into the course, you'd simply select the course. You could view a description of the course. And if you select Buy Course, you'd simply enter in your card details. It's a basic monthly cost-effective payment. And this course would then be populated under course drafts. You could then click into the course, and if you wish to now publish the course to the marketplace for the students to engage with, you'd simply select Publish Course. And at a click of a button, we've completely structured the entire learner journey for the student. All of the PDFs are digitized into video content or interactive content. We've preloaded all of the formative, summatives, and practicals and workplace essential documents on your behalf. It's a big time and cost saver for skills development providers to go this route, and we are constantly building out new digitized content. Under the student section over here, firstly there's a section for course applications. So this is a real-time stream of every course that has been registered into by a student. You can essentially process the student, which means, okay, you're allowing them to have access to the course. You can unprocess their application, so meaning that they can't access the content, but you're still reviewing their information. Or you can reject their application to the course, meaning that they cannot have access to the content. We then have student record functionality. So if I go to Matthew at Rekindle Learning as one of the students, there's two buttons. I can firstly view the student's profile information, or I can view the student record. So if I start off with the student profile information, as I mentioned on the learner portal, when the students enter in their information, it's directly pulled through to the admin portal. So you can view all of their information. You're able to edit information on their behalf. You could download documents they've uploaded as part of their registration process for courses, and you can also just see the registration of courses that they've actually registered into. The other functionality is to actually then go ahead, and if they've registered for a course, you can view their performance. So if I select student record, and let's say I go into new venture creation again, I select the view icon, I can view all of the students' formative assessment results. I can view their summative assessment results, and I can actually view the marked transcript. We do have invigilation software. So this is really anti-cheating software. So for the summative assessment in this example, you can select view, and our system takes screenshots of the student, but with their permission, and also takes audio recording and tracks the movement of the platform. So you're able to really verify if the students completed the test under test conditions. There is also a document repository, so you can upload additional documents against the student. The final piece of functionality is the sales module. And essentially, this is really just a real-time update of every purchase that has happened on the platform. So think of this really as an accounting tool. You would view the student's email address, the date they purchased, did the student use a promotional code, what was the total gross amount of the course, did the student apply a discount or a package discount, and what is the net amount you'd receive. And every time a purchase is made and there is a nominal RAND value, that will reflect to how much money would actually be received into your bank account through our payment gateway or our payment system. As discussed, there are promo and discount codes. You can create all of these codes through the checkout functionality. So you can add promo codes. They can either be unique, they can be once off, they can be a percentage value, and you can send these to students to receive discounts on courses or to actually bypass the entire payment method. We also have a discount pack functionality. So if students are purchasing multiple courses at the same time, you can incentivize those actions through providing discounts on the actual course content itself. So now that we've gone through a live software demonstration, I just want to explain the process of accessing your free trial. So directly after this webinar, you're going to receive an automated email which is going to send you registration instructions on how to register your own online education platform. All the instructions and details will be outlined through the email. But essentially, you'll receive a 7-day free online education platform trial. You'll also receive access to 3 of the demo courses, QCTO-aligned digitized courses. So if you want to test out the platform and also our digitized content, you can do all of this at no cost. And essentially, the no cost for the platform, the technology, lasts for 7 days. You can assess if the platform is the right fit for you, and once completed, you'd then be able to cancel your subscription, or you're actually then able to subscribe to the services and pay on a month-by-month fee. The platform and course pricing guide. So just to end off with, in that same automated email that you're going to receive, you're also going to receive a PDF document which outlines all of the platform courses, costing, the course pricing for our preloaded digital courses, or the pricing for us to actually assist you in digitizing your own content. So all of this will be received through the document. And as mentioned, this is a very risk-free way to assess your digitization standpoint and actually engage now in a fully digitized world. Within seconds, you can have your own platform deployed. You can test out our preloaded digital content, and we really want to assist you in making an informed decision on your digitization way and strategic goals. But thank you everyone for the time today. It's much appreciated, and we look forward to further communications with you.